Some of the WWE, but I know we've been focusing a lot on the WWE lately because we're in the off season of the NFL. But what's been pretty crazy is that we see here Maxx Crosby is no longer being traded to the Ravens. Now, in this article, I think it's weird because not only has the Ravens they traded two first round picks for him, but he failed medically. So what ends up happening is because he failed medically, he has to go back to the Raiders, but the Raiders spent so much money in free agency. Like they are, I believe, the number one team to spend the most in free agency next to Tennessee. And because they're spending all that money, they spent over like 250 million, and now they get Maxx Crosby back. They were expecting that they were going to get two first round picks and still be able to sign all these players and things like that. So I think it's pretty crazy to see that now their plans are kind of railroaded because no longer being able to get a player like Maxx Crosby. So I'm curious to know your thoughts on this because I think that you know um, like you're the Ravens expecting that you need to build your team quick to win a championship, and we see now that you are losing out on this. And you had like a lot of um, upside to be able to do all this. And one of the things that the Ravens struggled with was pass rushing, and this would have helped them out at least a little bit in for their defense. But I think that they no longer are going to have a good pass rush unless they can find somebody in free agency now outside, or they can rework this deal. Maybe we'll see. But if not, yeah, it's going to be interesting to see what's going to happen with the Ravens. But I also wanted to go around and talk about a little bit too because we saw some big free agent going back to certain teams. Like I thought this was interesting. We see that Geno Smith is going back to the Jets. Like that is pretty interesting because too the Jets don't have a quarterback. Like who are they going to? They're going to start Geno Smith come uh, this offseason. It's going to be pretty crazy to see. I think Aaron Glenn this will probably be his last season with the Jets because I can't see him starting somebody like Geno Smith to go and win the division for your team. Yeah, I can't see that. Geno Smith had a little bit of upside for a little bit when he played under Pete Carroll in Seattle, and then that's pretty much like all what he had. And then now, he's he's not going to where it is. But yeah, I thought that was interesting to see. I was going over a little bit of, um, just looking at these NFL teams and thinking about like that Geno Smith is the one that stood out to me because I would not even have signed Geno Smith. Like I think of it this way: if the Jets wanted a quarterback, they could have traded for Will Levis. Will Levis would have been available because Tennessee ended up signing Mitch Trubisky, and they have Cam Ward. And then where's Will Levis going to go? I know he came off an injury last season, but you got to think like they could have got somebody younger, somebody who at least would have been able to play maybe a little bit better for them, and he's coming off of an injury that is hungry to be able to be a starter. So um, that is what I think is pretty interesting here, seeing that Tennessee or sorry New York ended up signing Geno Smith. The last thing he played for them was 2016. So we see over 10 years ago he ended up playing uh, for the Jets. Now I guess this is probably going to be his last season. It's a reunion. He'll more than likely probably start unless I can't think of anybody else on their team that they're actually going to be able to start and be able to play. But overall, it's been a pretty interesting NFL season, especially Tua. Tua signing with the Falcons. I thought that was pretty crazy, but seeing Tua sign with the Falcons, yeah, it's pretty crazy there. So that's our NFL news. We're gonna jump straight into what you came here for. Wrestling. So the Usos take down CM Punk for disrespecting the family. Like, well, you gotta disrespect the family, man. That's what I think is pretty interesting here because um, I'm wondering though is are they going to start doing like the whole bring back the family again and because you had the Paul Heyman was with the Usos and Roman Reigns during that run. It makes you wonder whether or not they're gonna kind of bring it all back again. But this is gonna be pretty interesting. I'm curious to know what the results are gonna be like. I'm kind of torn between the two because I could see CM Punk losing the title and giving it back to Roman Reigns, but I can also see CM Punk still holding it, and because I mean he's still pretty popular, so why not give him the belt if he can't have it or could have it? I mean, you never know. But so I thought that was pretty interesting. I want to go over a little bit of these matches. You got to see Seth Rollins emerge with the masked men to face General Manager Adam Pearce, resulting in bedlam between the Vision, LA Knight, and the World Tag Team Champions, the Usos. That's pretty crazy to see. I mean, it's good to see Seth Rollins come back. He may not probably wrestle until WrestleMania, but I'm curious to know who his opponent's going to be because if the Vision are not fully healthy, then what opponent are we going to see? So I saw that one. Io Sky defeated Lyra Valkyria. I like Lyra Valkyria. I think she's pretty good. I don't think she'll probably win a championship. I think she has the skills to be able to win a women's championship, but I don't think they're going to. I don't think they're going to give her a chance just yet because there are other ones that they're pushing right now. But I like Lyra Valkyria, and hopefully she gets a push later on. So, um, other than Io Sky defeated Raquel Rodriguez, so looks like that they're giving Io Sky a real big push right now for this Gauntlet number one contenders match against the Intercontinental Championship AJ Lee. So I'm guessing that no longer Becky Lynch is going to take over for AJ Lee facing for this Intercontinental Championship. So you saw Bailey defeated Ivy Nile. So Bailey looks like she defeated Asuka, and it looks like she is going to face AJ Lee, which is pretty interesting. I'm guessing they have to push the Intercontinental title, so I'm guessing Bailey will probably, because Bailey's still somewhat popular, so I think giving her kind of the chance to win the title is going to be able to help with, you know, uh, ticket sales, because from what I hear, WrestleMania isn't going to be that good. And, so, yeah, what can you do, right? But Bailey wins, and who knows? Let me know your thoughts. Like, what do you think? Bailey winning to face AJ Lee? I think everybody's liking AJ Lee right now, so I think it's a little bit tough. But you have to find if AJ Lee does lose the title sometime in the future, you have to find the right opponent. You can't just give it to anybody because um, you got to think like you want an up and comer to be able to win this Intercontinental title and hopefully push her to win the Women's World Championship or, whichever one, just because it's going to be a lot better, I think, that way than to give it to rotate Charlotte, Bailey, rotating all the women to be able to do that. But overall, I think that's interesting. So Penta celebrates his win with the WWE Universe after winning the Intercontinental title from Dominic Mysterio. So that's a pretty interesting one. I don't know how I like about that one because, I know Dominic Mysterio's had the title for a long time, but I don't know about Penta. For me, Penta isn't one of those wrestlers that I think I see him as like mainstream, but apparently he has a lot of, he's pretty popular. So Um, yeah, I don't know. I guess good for him. He'll win the title. Hopefully, makes the Intercontinental title a little bit, better and continues to push it. So, but we already see that El Grande Americano is trying to win this title, but he apparently will lose this title. So, and then this is interesting too. I don't know how this is going to work. That the Judgment Day went and betrayed Finn Balor with a attack. So, I mean, they no longer have the title and things like that. So how is this going to work now? Are they going to have um, Dominic Mysterio face Finn Balor at WrestleMania now and push something like that because Finn Balor was no longer part of Judgment Day? And I think what's weird too is I think Judgment Day has kind of run its course a little bit because they've been together a pretty long time. So having I can see them breaking up this faction and just keeping kind of Dominic Mysterio and Liv Morgan kind of just keeping them solo. But yeah, this faction's been together a pretty long time, and I can't see them. I can't see them actually like keeping this one around much longer because it's running its course. But I can see they'll probably set this match up since since Dominic Mysterio, is beating up on Finn Balor. I could see them running this match to WrestleMania. So I think this is probably going to be your WrestleMania matchup, and we will see what happens when we get closer. So this is what's going to be pretty interesting. So Oba Femi defeated Rusev, but I know Oba Femi has come into the WWE as a pretty, a pretty hot character coming in there wanting to trying to give him the push. But my biggest question though is who is he going to face? Now he's a big guy, so I think what we're starting to see though is because the evolution of the WWE, you don't see a lot of big guys wrestling and things like that. So I think it's gonna be a little bit harder for Oba Femi, but having a match against Rusev's a pretty strong guy. He's not as tall as him, but I think that would be interesting. But I don't know if I would like the Brock Lesnar Oba Femi. But you gotta. I'm hoping what they don't do is bring back like a Braun Strowman or somebody like that to face Oba Femi just to get him with, you know, just have him face somebody who is just basically his same size. But um, I mean, it's pretty interesting. I think the problem you're gonna see with Oba Femi is because there's not gonna be like wrestlers his size, so it's hard to be you're gonna have a Rey Mysterio against a Big Show, seeing that all the time. So I think it's gonna be a little bit tougher for him, but hopefully he finds he finds his footing in the WWE and he can be able to go and have a match. Hopefully at WrestleMania, maybe it would be a good one. Maybe I'll see him there and cheer him on for a good match. But um, and then we saw the Usos disrespecting CM Punk because of the comments that he made. So I think this is going to be interesting. I'm curious to know though how they're going because who are the Usos? Or they're still the tag team champs? So who are they going to face? Um, who are they going to face at WrestleMania? Are they just going to face a bunch of nobodies? I think what they're the issue right now is what we're seeing with the tag team titles is like you're giving it back to the Usos because you don't haven't really built a tag team. So I think you need to find a tag team champ, but I think it's also going to be a little bit too late if you're going to try to find like a team to face for the World Tag Team Champions. It's going to be a little bit harder to find somebody who's going to face them now and build up a rivalry since you're using the Usos to kind of disrespect CM Punk and stuff like that. So I don't know how well that's going to work out for the WWE going forward for that match, but um, yeah, I mean, let me know your guys' thoughts. As again, that's I want to go over a little bit of SmackDown. This is where I think I'm kind of up in the air with. I like Cody Rhodes, but giving him back the title, so he's going to face Randy Orton. I mean, I don't know how I like that because I think it's a I don't know. I don't know the decisions. To me, I don't like it when they do. It's like this person loses the title and then they win it back like a month later. This was kind of like what we saw with Drew McIntyre and Cody Rhodes had this. They had this rivalry going on, and then he couldn't win in an elimination chamber, but now we just have him win on a random SmackDown. Like that's where I think kind of like the decisions with booking is a little weird to me. I don't think that's good, and I don't like those ones usually. But as we go over, of course, you know, Randy Orton's Arcane everybody out of RKO, everybody out of nowhere. So, uh, he's going to go in and see whether or not he is going to win. I'm thinking he could, and it would be interesting to see him win the championship because he's getting closer to the record to be number two. But yeah, who knows? Carmelo Hayes defeats El Hijo de Dr. Wagner Jr. Never heard of that wrestler, but in a United States title match. So Carmelo Hayes there. Like, what are you guys' thoughts on Carmelo Hayes? I mean, I haven't seen him wrestle as much, so I don't know. I know he's popular in NXT, but coming up here, he hasn't seemed like he's really. Does he have world championship, in him to be able to win a world title? Maybe once. Like, I mean, if they could give it to Jey Uso, they can give it to Carmelo Hayes. So we never know for that one, but um, we see the Irresistible Forces celebrate winning the tag team title from Rhea Ripley and Io Sky. The teams of Charlotte Flair and Alexa Bliss, as well as Julia and Kiana James, crash the party to stake their claim at the title. Um, yeah, I don't know how I'm gonna like this one because yeah, the women's tag team, I'm kind of tired of Charlotte. I think like I'm good. It's good to see that they actually don't have her trying to win the world title every single match that she has, but I'm kind of tired of her as like a wrestler. I think there would be more spots like this would be a good spot to have Alexa Bliss partner with somebody else to kind of build that person up to be able to have that person as a like a as an up and coming women's star to catapult her into like the world championship scene. But having Alexa Bliss and Charlotte, I think, I don't know. It would be interesting though to see some more NXT people who knows, you never know. But um, yeah, so we're going through that. Another tag team match. The Motor City Machine Guns have come to the WWE and they really haven't done much, which is sad. They should be out there winning the World Tag. They're a good tag team, and see, this is where I look at it because they are like truly a tag team, so they should be winning the title at least to promote them. But I can see that the tag team is in turmoil because there's not really many tag teams left to be able to like really win the tag titles. Like the MFTs are going to continue pushing, and so they got Damian Priest and R-Truth become the number one contender to the MFT titles. So at is this going to be at WrestleMania? We're going to see Damian Priest and R-Truth face the MFTs. Like I don't know how that match is going to be. I never even knew Damian Priest was still active as a wrestler, so I thought that was pretty interesting myself. But yeah, so that's gonna be an interesting match. I mean, I like R-Truth. I think though that they've really diminished him though. He needs to win a world title so he can complete kind of the Triple Crown, the Grand Slam. But yeah, other than that, uh, I don't know what to tell you for that one. I don't like these like makeshift tag teams. Kind of, we'll just put these two together and have them face because we need to give them something to do. So I don't know about that one, but yeah. So Rhea Ripley informed WWE Champion Jade Cargill that she will take her title with sheer force and intense war of words. That's where I'm hoping she wins. I don't think Rhea Ripley should have won. I was more for Tiffany Stratton to win it because it made more sense that Tiffany Stratton should have won her title back because Jade Cargill is just a placeholder for Tiffany Stratton to get her title back. But I feel like that they're probably thinking that Rhea Ripley would probably sell more, so they have to give her the title. But I can't see Jade Cargill, like they just handed her the title. She has not wrestled. You haven't seen anything good with her, and now it's like they're trying to build this rivalry. I'm curious to know what the wrestling style is going to be like at WrestleMania when we see Jade Cargill, you know, battling it out against um, Rhea Ripley, who's more established as a woman's wrestler, and hopefully Rhea Ripley wins it, and they don't go, oh, we'll continue to give it to Jade Cargill and just not have her wrestle for another 6 more months. So who knows? But I think that's a terrible decision. Like you could have done it when who was it? The girl who was a superhero. I can't think of her name right now, but you could have done something like that where you could have placed somebody who actually wrestles. Um, oh, Nikki Cross, but her when she became a superhero. But you could have given it to somebody who maybe not have been like a big time wrestler, but you could have given her somebody who like up and coming to be able to give them the title and things like that. And Jade Cargo though, I think they only gave it to her because they got her from the other promotions. They promised her all this stuff. You find out she can't wrestle anyway, and then it ends up being that oh, we gave you a world title. Like to me, that's just weird bookings to me. I don't know if I like that. I just think it's weird. But hopefully hopefully it's a good match. I think Rhea Ripley wins this, but I can see WWE being WWE and giving it to Jade Cargill one more time for whatever reason that they're going to try to push her, even though she doesn't wrestle. So, um, yeah, I don't think Jade Cargill's a good wrestler, but I'd rather see like a rivalry between Bianca Belair and Rhea Ripley, like something like that. But this is not going to turn out to be a good women's wrestling for WrestleMania. But that's just me. That's just me. Uh, yeah. So we see Cody Rhodes defeated Drew McIntyre to reclaim the WWE Undisputed title. This is, again, as I was talking about earlier when we were looking at the results. I don't like this. I think it's poor booking. Like you you gotta give somebody else the chance, and I think yeah you have Cody Rhodes, but I think the biggest thing was like who are you now gonna have Cody Rhodes face at WrestleMania? You couldn't really have kind of like do you think that Jacob Fatu against Cody Rhodes would have been like a big wrestling match? Who knows? But I don't think that they were thinking kind of like WrestleMania ahead of what the matches would have been like. But I can see them now pushing kind of Cody Rhodes against Randy Orton to say something kind of like we were in Legacy and you should have, like kind of push that whole Legacy angle. But where does Drew McIntyre go from here? Like, so does Jacob Fatu face now Drew McIntyre because he interfered in this match and Cody Rhodes won the title? Like I don't know. This is where I think you have a month left to be able to try to build some storylines and use some of these wrestlers for your 2 nights to be able to go through all that. But yeah, who knows? A little disappointing there. Uh, but yeah, want to go over just one more. We got the Hall of Fame ceremony, as we know. Do you guys think that there's going to be one more wrestler, two more wrestlers? I know we still have about a month away for them to be able to announce some more. But what do you guys think of this lineup? I got the AJ Styles phenomenal one. I'll be wearing this at WrestleMania, so it's gonna be pretty awesome to see. Pretty awesome to see, because they're gonna bring them all out and celebrate during WrestleMania. So it's gonna be pretty cool to see that. So I'm pretty excited about that, and I'm hoping that maybe one or two more people. I'm hoping that they don't go with a three-person WrestleMania. But I mean, then again, it does start at 9 p.m. So they might that they might cut it short. It might just be these three people because it is kind of late. It's past my bedtime, so you know what I'm saying. But Yeah, so these are your three. If you haven't been following along for whatever reason, you missed it. The Demolition, AJ Styles, and Stephanie McMahon right now. She's headlining it, so be curious to know what her speech is going to be like since Triple H had it last year. She gets it this year, and I'm just curious to know how they're going to do it this time. So, but yeah, so this week, no 20 questions. Dark Knight's kind of he was pushing through from his video yesterday. Still feeling under the weather, so he decided to take this time off. So you got me solo. If being able to kind of seeing what these tackles and takedowns are gonna be like. But let me know your thoughts and comment. Let me know what did you think about the Maxx Crosby trade that we saw in the NFL to just get reneged. They're reneging this trade. And then also, what are you guys' thoughts? What do you think the WrestleMania card is going to be like? Are you interested in a match like Rhea Ripley against Jade Cargill? Or are you more interested in a Randy Orton, Cody Rhodes matchup? I think what you're going to headline in day two will probably be CM Punk and Roman Reigns. You have to, because I don't think if you're thinking of a draw, I think Cody Rhodes and Randy Orton are going to give you a draw of something like that. So yeah, I don't know. So you got me, Robert Wheeler Gaming solo this week, and so we'll get back to it next week with our 20 questions and see whether or not I can actually win a 20 questions this time, and get back up on the top of the leaderboard. So appreciate you guys so much. Thank you guys for watching, and make sure you like, share, subscribe, turn on your notifications, all that good stuff, because every week we love to bring you the NFL and wrestling. Some of the two things that we really like on this channel, which is why we merged them together to talk about it when NFL's in the off season. If there's anything big, we're talking about wrestling. So definitely, guys, appreciate your guys' follow. Make sure you subscribe so we can continue to bring you guys the best wrestling content and football content out there as we're growing this channel. Just appreciate you guys watching so much. God bless you guys. Catch you in the next one. Take it easy.